when you read the Bible, I don't know if you know this, but there are a lot of dysfunctional families. It is full of dysfunction. Okay, let me just give you a few examples. First one, let's think of the first family that God created. We got Adam, we got Eve, and they have two boys, Cain and Abel. And what does Cain do to Abel? He kills him. That's dysfunction. We got Jacob. Jacob, his name is like conniver, trickster, manipulator. And Jacob, when you see that in his life, he ends up manipulating his brother and tricking his brother. He ends up tricking his father. He ends up tricking other members of his family. And then he ends up growing and having kids of his own. And you know what his kids do? They end up tricking him. They take his favorite son and they sell him into slavery. And then they go to Jacob and they say, your son was killed by a wild animal. Where did they learn that from? Learn that from their dad. We got King David, from David and Goliath. King David, great guy, loved the Lord, was a man after God's own heart, good man, horrible father. Horrible father. Had wives from different women, and one of those kids ended up sexually abusing another kid, raping the other kid. And what does David do? Nothing. Pass it. And then so another kid kills that one that committed the sexual abuse and kills him. And what does David do? Nothing. Passive father. Bad father. His other son, Solomon, King Solomon, 1,000 wives. 1,000 wives, people. I can't even have just one wife. I'm having a hard time with that, right? Taking care of one. Can you imagine 1,000? Can you imagine all the drama that was wrapped up with that, with 1,000 women trying to please them? You must be crazy. But that's what Solomon did. And you got all this crazy dysfunction and all that because of that. It's just messed up stuff. So if you are in a dysfunctional family, take heart. You are not alone. And they're all throughout the scriptures. And the reason why we see that is because God is trying to communicate one truth. He's trying to communicate in the scriptures this, is that we are a messed up people. We are a sinful people. And that sin destroys our relationship with God, and it destroys our relationship with one another, and it messes up families, and it destroys families. And so if you're going through a tough time, and you're just like, man, my family is so crazy, here's some advice. Read your Bible, read about these families, and you'll feel better.